Hi Gemini, thanks for joining me this week. 3-card tarot for Gemini with tarot of the Sephiroth, and we're going to use Work Your Light for some clarification as we go along. So then, Gemini, let's have 3 cards for the sign of Gemini. In fact, let's have the first of 3 cards for the sign of Gemini in this reading. Right at the beginning of August 2019, Mercury retrograde has just ended, the day I'm recording this. First card out we've got then for Gemini, Ace of Discs. Look at that lilac amethyst background there. This has come up in every one so far. I mean, it's only the third one, I must admit. But this seems to be a theme this week. Now, lilac amethyst is all about healing, just like real, the full-on darker purple amethyst is. But lilac amethyst does it more gently, and it works well in situations where the healing needs to come in gently, maybe where things are a bit ragged. So that healing is strongly there, but it's the Ace of Discs, essentially the Ace of Pentacles. So it's earth, wind, fire and water all working together under the auspices of the divine, under the control of the divine, if you will. There's lots of winged images in this pattern as well. So there's a definite sense of things taking off and going into a state of kind of flying, not just going forward, but really flying, really gathering new knowledge and going to a level that we've never been at before. So this is a great first card, Gemini. Very, very positive indeed. It's 4 square with the cross there, and also being the ace, it's alchemical. It's showing that there's a great deal of possibility, but it's possibility you have to believe in, because in theory, the ace is below the number 1, so it's almost the number 0. But look at the potential in that. That's the main thing. If you have lived a life, which mine's been a bit like this as well, if you lived a life where at times you just felt like nothing was ever going to let you succeed, somehow, as if there was some unwritten rule in the world that meant you couldn't succeed, this card shows that, it reminds us, that actually we can all succeed. You've just kind of got to be brazen about it sometimes. And really, you've got to do whatever it takes to get forward. Now, I'm not saying kind of just throw everything else out of the window in favour of your own progress. But Gemini, you do need to be a little more focused, as is nearly always the case with Gemini. But sort of be decisive. Decide you're actually going to go up there. Decide you're actually going to make a difference, because it really does matter. Okay, so that's a really good kind of starting point for a reading, I feel. The potential in that is huge. Let's go into Rebecca Campbell, Work Your Light, and say, tell me more, please, about the Ace of Discs, the Ace of Pentacles, really, in this reading for the sign of Gemini, which I'm doing right at the beginning of August 2019. Tell us more, please, about the Ace of Discs for Gemini. We have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Nice one. That kind of plays into what I was saying there. It's being the Ace of Discs, the Ace of Pentacles that this is telling us about. It is actually big change, big positive change, but actually very natural change, and change that you're going to find yourself getting used to faster than you think. This lady with her hands above her head, that's quite a spiritual posture there, but it's almost as if she's trying to push the good energy away, but at the same time the good energy is coming in, and there's nothing bad about it, is it? Look at those beautiful colours there. So are you trying to resist, Gemini? I'm going to suggest that resistance is futile. Really futile, okay, because you'd be cutting your nose off to absolutely despite your face. I have just noticed there is a pentagram in the middle of this card. If you blink you miss it, but there it is. I thought that was worth showing you. Okay, let's have the middle card in this reading then. It's going to be close to the heart of the matter. Close to not just to what's happening, but, what we're going to do about it as well. Let's have a look at that, Gemini. Let us see. And we've got number 6, the Lovers. Now then, people watch readings for different reasons. People have different hopes about different things at different times in their life. If, my friends, this to you is a love reading, and it's fluid energy, means different things to different people all the time. If this is a love reading for you guys, this looks brilliant. You don't really need me to tell you about it, do you? There's a man and a woman. There's the caduceus in the middle, showing kind of spiritual well-being and a great sense of healing. And we've got rather a sun-like aspect to the yellow and purple sky behind that. So this is looking pretty good in matters of love, really. We've also got a connecting line between 2 different spheres of Sephiroth here. And in this deck, this really is all about spiritual progress. So that shows that things are in tune with the divine. Now, if this isn't a love reading to you, and love and light to you, whatever it's for, by the way, then it still is about divine intervention coming in. Maybe this isn't two lovers, maybe it isn't a man and a woman, maybe it isn't a couple, maybe it's a work relationship, maybe it's you, Gemini, and a thing that you're trying to do, maybe a thing that you're having some problems with, actually bringing into reality, actually manifesting into life and light. But this is number 6, okay? If we look at the very basic numerology of sort of 1 to 10 being a journey, excuse me, and 10 being completion, then this is number 6. It's only kind of just over halfway through that journey. So there is more to come. There is more to happen. But this card is the Lovers. It's incredibly positive. And this means that the situation, whatever it might feel like at the moment, is a good one and is going to a good place. It really is. Okay, that is the Lovers, and that's a fantastic card. 2 really good cards, very positive cards, I think, so far. Ace of Discs, Ace of Pentacles, that is, and the Lovers from the Major Arcana. So the Lovers, it's personal, it's you, it's looking good. Right, and if this isn't a love reading and you've given up on all that, stop giving up on it, okay? That's my advice. It comes back. It very often does indeed come back. So shuffling now back to Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell, saying, tell us more about the Lovers in this spread for the sign of Gemini. Tell us more, please, about the Lovers, number 6. And what we got is Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Wow. Now then, lots of roses in this card, and in this deck, roses are very much symbolic of afterlife presence, of loved ones, family, friends, guardians, guides, gatekeepers, angels, whatever you want to call it. Ascended masters, could be anything really. But basically, whoever's good, whoever wants to help, whoever's sending you love and light from the afterlife, that is indicated there. So you're not on your own, that's the first thing to say. And this can be a lonely situation, because even though it's actually very positive, this means that things are not just about to start moving forward, that they actually have moved forward a fair bit, and the next thing is progress that you're going to have to make, and it's kind of scary. It's kind of which way to go. But as this character looks in the mirror, right, what we're reminded of here is the other side of the mirror, as she's looking down into the water and seeing her reflection. And this really has a lot to do with alchemy, the more we try to understand what alchemy is all about. We've got the lady actually sitting on the rock there, and she is actually reality, in reality is actually there. Here we've got a reflection, you know, and that's not real actual substance, is it? But spiritually, maybe it is, right? Because that reflection is actually there. If she moves, the reflection will move. If she sings, the reflection will sing. If she scratches herself, the reflection will scratch itself. So even though it's not real physically, it's not real tangibly, there is something very, very real there. And thinking again about that connection to the afterlife, my friends. And I'm sorry if this sounds macabre, actually, but it's really not when you think about it. It's pure light. The fact is that people in the afterlife aren't restricted by the laws of physics. They're non-physical beings, and that means that they don't have to die. No, they don't need any food. So the soul continues. It always does. And when we reincarnate, as I believe we've all incarnated into this life now, part of us is still in the afterlife. No doubt about it. One of the greatest spiritualists, one of the greatest spiritual teachers, I believe. I'm not sure, was it Red Cloud or Silver Birch? I don't know, trance guides that came through was very clear about that. It says the soul is like a diamond, you know, and each person in the real physical world here that incarnates is one facet of that diamond, you know. So part of you is actually still in the afterlife. So it's not just relatives, loved ones, family, friends, guardians, guides, gatekeepers, angels, ascended masters, blah, blah, blah. It's actually you. Okay, so never lose hope. Part of you has got a fantastic overview. It's a spiritual part of you. And the way to access it is through quiet time, through meditation. I've worked a lot on the YouTube channel for about the last 3 years, and yesterday I just thought, sod it, I'm going to take a day off from this, and so I did a bit of recording in the morning because I can't quite take a day off. I really like doing this, and I went out into the garden, and it was just like peace and stillness in the garden. You can't get the internet in my garden; the signal doesn't get out there, and oh boy, it really brought life back to life again. So, balance. Okay, right, outcome card in this reading for the sign of Gemini. It's number 9. It's the Hermit. Now, it actually is a very positive card, but it points to something that very often feels negative for people for good reasons. It's number 9. It's actually very close to the 10 of completion, and that shows that a little further on from the wonders of the Lovers card here, as things move forward, there's going to need to be a lot of contemplation. Now, progress is happening in a big way here, okay? Because it all started with the Ace of Discs, and there's some gentle healing there to get things in the zone, to get everyone feeling right about it. But this is the big bang. I'm hoping I'll get this soon, but I'm a Saggy, and this is for Gemini. This, though, right, is where you've got to stop and think, and you're going to need to do that sooner or later. It's coming as an outcome card here, because it's a 3-card spread, but if I was you guys, I'd make more time in your life to meditate. I seem to have been drawn to rabbit on and on about that, so do make time in your life to meditate. It's very close to completion, though, so it is really good news. And as you retreat from the world, some people are kind of always a bit sorry you see that you've retreated and they might not see you for a few days or a few weeks, months, whatever. What about these people who go sailing around the world single-handed? They don't see anyone for ages. It's the way life is sometimes. It's the way life takes us sometimes. But we are never, never truly isolated, because remember that mirror card? Who or what is triggering you, it says, and in so many ways, it doesn't actually matter, so it's worth facing, it's worth thinking about, it's worth finding out. All about contemplation, all about the Hermit, and telling us some more about the Hermit, we have this card. My favourite card in the whole deck, actually, and it's the one that's on the cover of the box. Devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Right, your heart is a portal. Look at the mystical journey that's going on here. Again, it's non-physical. It's a corridor, but it's a non-physical corridor. A corridor that's got no roof on it. A corridor where it never rains and where everything is purple and pink. Reminds me a bit of Planet Claire by the B-52s, but let's not go there at the moment. Although, let's remember, no one ever dies there. No one has a head. That's what they say. Devotion, tune in to the portal of your heart. This is where your heart is leading you guys. So listen to your heart, follow your heart, because this is actually where it's leading. And that is just going to be a wonderful place to be, is it not? And I'm not talking about the afterlife there exactly, although the afterlife certainly fits that description. This life can be this good here on earth when you lift up your heart, really, more than anything else, because that results in lifting up your mind. The higher chakras come to life, and your appreciation of the spirituality of things really improves. And if that sounds like nonsense to you, because you're looking at this reading to, like, you're hoping to find out how much money you were going to make or who you're going to marry or something, just remember that relationship you have with the divine is the magical you that can make all those things happen. That is so much more important than kind of getting a card that might say, oh, you're going to end up with this person or that person. Whatever happens, right, it's going to happen for the best the more you connect to the higher chakras, okay? So get out there, get up there, keep it real. You've always got to do that, but keep it out there at the same time, because that is nothing short of real, friends. Thank you very much indeed for watching, Gemini. I'll be back very soon with more readings. Thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. Please tap the bell if you do. There are now 3 different levels of tapping the bell. I'm really sorry about that. I'd like you to tap the top one. What you do is up to you. But thanks again for watching. Peace.